Preppers are nuts. Preppers are crazy. Preppers are... Let me explain. I see people on YouTube and everybody's trying to predict a nuclear holocaust. They're trying to predict a viral outbreak. All these preppers are trying to predict some doom and gloom of something that's going to happen. So let me lay down some common sense for you, okay? Let's think about this. Go look up some videos on India travelers. These people touch elbow to elbow. They urinate in the street. They do everything. They're filthy people. There is garbage everywhere you look. There's nobody picking up the garbage. They just spit on the street. They'll spit on you when you're walking by like it's perfectly normal. They'll go out, and I've seen a video where they go out on the beach and they take a dump out there, and this is considered okay because they have no bathrooms inside their city. Or if they do have bathrooms, they're horribly filthy, and there's only a couple of them for hundreds and thousands of people. Why haven't they had a virus outbreak? Why hasn't something over there knocked off 10 million people? I mean, you would think that's like a petri dish, right? Well, wait, it's not only in India. No, no, no. It's actually here in USA, a first world country. I mean, think about it. In California, they've got drug addicts living in tents, and they're dropping loads there. Heck, they made a map showing you where all the feces was. There was so many dumps everywhere that the map was gone. All you seen was brown. That's it. Then the homeless in California were, and it's not just California, it's all over the U.S. And then they would get themselves a dog, you know, a companion. And the dogs would get ticks, they would get fleas, and they don't have the money to take care of them. So these ticks and fleas then would end up biting the homeless guy, and now they were passing typhus to him. By all rights, we should have had an outbreak by now. But we haven't. And that's really, really amazing. Go to Africa where they have Ebola. It pops up all the time. They don't talk about it a whole lot. 1,000 people die over there. Nobody cares. As long as it stays over there, okay, we're okay. Right? But that's been going on for years, Ebola. India's been going on for years too. Now we got it happening in California. How much can a human being suffer until something does pop? And everybody say, yeah, that's why I'm prepping. It's going to happen. It's coming. What are you prepping for? A nuke? A viral outbreak? A disaster? You know, when I was younger, we had motivational speakers, and they would tell us all kinds of good stuff. And some of it made sense. One motivation speaker told me that if you take a piece of paper and you write down, I'm going to buy a brand new car by the end of the year, and put it on your bathroom mirror, and then you put one in the bedroom, and you put one in the living room, and you just put these little papers around the house like this. Now, every time you go to the bathroom, you're going to read that paper. Put it above your toilet. Every time you go to bed, put it above your bed. You'll read it every time you go to bed. Something will happen to you. You are literally programming yourself without you even knowing. Okay? There was another thing back in the 1950s, I think it was, the 40s, when TV was around in black and white days. They actually would put messages in the commercial in the background that you couldn't really see, but your subconscious could see it. They actually outlawed that because apparently it was working. They were actually flicking images in the background that your eyes and your subconscious would see, but you didn't know it. And it would say stuff like, buy ketchup, buy this, buy that. And you actually went and bought it. Your subconscious is dangerous. And a lot of people do what's called binge watching now. So let's say you're doing prepping. You will go and watch 100 other preppers. You are starving for that information. You want to hear how horrible it's going to be. And what you need, I need a $400 knife or we're going to die. Really? You don't think that $1.99 knife you bought at the garage sale would work just fine. Buy 8 of them. Trust me, they'll last. You're being programmed by these so-called preppers out there over and over and over in your brain, and you're losing your life. They're taking away your time. That time you spent of hours and hours of watching them, the hours of watching me. That's time you could have been spending with your family, your wife, your kids, your dog, whatever you do. Get out and do it and enjoy life. All the money you're spending, I mean, and boy, people are spending a lot of money on prepping. It's just blowing my mind away. Let's say you buy $4,000 in dried food and put it away. You think, all right, we got a good 3 months or so of food, we should be all right. All of a sudden your house floods because we got a lot of that going on, and now all that food got destroyed. Well, that was smart, wasn't it? How about the people say, oh, we've got, at least 250 bags of toilet paper. We're good. They don't even use toilet paper in the Philippines. Did you know that? They actually have a spray nozzle they connect to their toilet, and they actually spray themselves clean. No toilet paper required. Did you ever think about going out and looking at what other countries do? Or do you think it's the only way? And that's the funny thing about it. Do it your way. Go back and research the Great Depression. When did it happen? Do you even know the year it happened? Do you even know it wasn't just one mass event that triggered what happened? There was multiple events there that actually led up to what happened. Had those events not happened at the same time from day to day, the Great Depression would have never happened. It was just amazing how they all came together. A lot of people in the Great Depression were bartering and trading. What would you barter and trade with? I hear a lot of that. There's a guy named Facehole, link in the bottom. He talks about, he's teasing preppers all the time. I just think he's funny. I really do. I don't think he's always right. I think he's kind of funny. He wears a black mask, and I think he drinks too much. I really do. And I guess his wife is his camera girl. But I'll have a link in his channel below. Go check it out if you want. But a lot of times he says things that do make sense. Like he made a video not too long ago talking about putting alcohol and cigarettes away. I thought he was referring to bartering in general, but I was mistaken. He was talking about those 2 specific items. Why would you put alcohol away? People ain't going to trade for that. You'd have to go watch him and see. He may be right, he may be wrong. You may disagree, you may agree with him. But do your own research and your own common sense. And don't program yourself watching thousands of prepper videos thinking this is the way to go. I mean, it's nuts. There's a guy in Canada, he's built well, works out, has like $40,000 in the back of his new pickup truck of all this equipment. He's ready to go when it all happens. Really? He's going to make somebody really happy. Because anytime I've ever seen a situation when it ever went down, the roads just got packed, even in the movies. The vehicles didn't move. Somebody's going to have a lot of equipment. He's going to actually help a lot of people. You don't know what's going to happen. And I think if we were going to have a virus outbreak or something, we would have had it by now. Especially with the amount of unsanitary things that are going on just in this country alone, California, San Francisco, all over the place. I mean, it's just unbelievable what we do to ourselves anymore. So, it's up to you if you want to keep watching all these prepper videos. Personally, I think you should go pick a hobby and go watch some videos on how to do that hobby and maybe better your life. Or spend more time with your wife, your kids. Get out and do things. Do some camping, some swimming. Go do some picnicking. Stop worrying about the end of the world. If it happens, it happens. But the bottom line is, the more stuff you put away, it's not going to make you any better prepared. That's the bottom line. Now, some of these guys have said some things that made sense. Some people say, well, put away food that you eat now that you can use. Well, yeah. That's pretty smart. because at least that way you're always rotating and eating it. But that's not 100% true either, because there's actually food you'll put away at the time you think you like it, and you do at the time, but then later you'll be like, oh, I'm eating so many green beans, I'm just fed up with them. You're just not going to eat them anymore. So we got that balance again, that variety, right? And that's hard to do. Now, if you're only putting away food for a couple of weeks for a disaster, like, I don't know, pick one, a tornado, a flood. A lot of people getting a lot of tornadoes over there up in, well, I think they've had over 200 tornadoes up there near Oklahoma. And we had tornadoes warnings tonight. We had big rain come in and everything tonight. I mean, you have no idea what's going to happen. So if I was going to say anything to anybody, if somebody said to me, what would you put? I put money away. And then you'll hear a lot of people, oh, the money will have no value. Yeah, well, it might get there. But the point is, when you had Hurricane Katrina or you had any of these other disasters and people got out of there, the ones that had money were the ones that got to stay in the nice motels, the ones that got to eat the nice restaurants, and got to kick back and relax. The ones that were broke and poor were the ones screaming, where's the FEMA buses? And that's happened in every scenario. And it wasn't about, who had the most food, who had the most guns, who had the most whatever. No, it was a matter of who could actually travel and get out of that area. Who could evacuate. Most people don't even have $1,000 sitting in their pocket where they can say, yes, we need to leave tomorrow and we need to go, one day drive out and we need to sit for a week. Most people can't even do that. Most people are living, like they say, paycheck to paycheck. And I guess it makes them feel accomplished if they put away a pail of food for $20. You would have been better off taking that $20 and taking your family out. Or heck, go put that $20 on your electric bill so you don't have so much stress the following month. But I know one thing. If you continue to listen to people about doom and gloom, and you do it day in, day out, video after video, you're going to go nuts, and there's going to be things wrong with you. These guys are living in sheds. Have you seen some of these guys? They're going out and they're buying a shed, and they're saying, it's our homestead. Yes, we got to put a wood stove in it. You're living in a shed. And everybody watches them as if they're in awe, saying, well, look at that, they did it. Are you kidding me? What happened to common sense? Really? Owning a home has equity and value in it, and it's better than a shed. You're going to find it pretty hard to sell if you ever have to sell it and somebody comes in and says, oh my God, this is how this person lives? If they buy it, they're buying it for the land. They're definitely not buying it for the shed you had. Or unless you find some other nut and it keeps on going where people that keep programming themselves subconsciously. I don't know too many women that want to live in a shed. So, hey, knock yourself out if that's the way you want to live your life. But to me, there's more to life than let's live in a shed, let's make videos and tell people the end is coming, let's do doom and gloom, let's program them, and then let's talk them into buying some freeze-dried food and get me a kickback. Really? No. No, not at all. And if this video reaches you and you finally hit yourself in your forehead and you go, oh my God, I have been subconsciously programmed without realizing it, then give yourself a head a shake and now thank yourself for being one of the followers. Because that's exactly what you were. You were a follower. You weren't a leader. And you didn't take care of your family property because you think you used a gold card and bought a bunch of stuff. Now, if something did happen and you had to leave the area and you had to evacuate and you did have $1,000, okay, you were able to get out of the area and protect your family. You're a good man. But at the same time, did you have some basic protection and stuff like this? All this stuff, some basic stuff makes sense. But there's overboard. And I keep telling people there's overboard. And that's the nutty thing about it. they really don't know what they're getting into, and they don't do the research. I mean, you go and look at the people in India. I mean, they're living in huts. Okay? No toilet. No toilet. They literally hang their butt off the end of the hut and drop it in the river. And they eat out of the same river that they defecate in. Why are they not dying by the millions? Why haven't I seen some major viral outbreak over there? I mean, I'm just amazed. It is so bad that we as people don't even know what's going on in the world. You know, China sends in, oh, I have no clue, thousands and thousands and millions of pounds of food that is laced with chemicals and everything. Heck, China sends in black pepper made out of clay to make it look like pepper so you could buy it. They send in chicken, they send in everything. And we sit back and we buy it. Oh, another outbreak on some type of food they're calling in. Oh, there's another salmonella poisoning. Oh, another one here. We shouldn't be buying anything from China. They don't have any standards at all. And when it comes to food, which shouldn't even come into our country, we should be totally upset by that. Anything to do with our planet, our Earth, we should be upset about when something's removed. And I don't care what president it is. This is where we live. You're so worried about an epidemic happening as being a prepper, you're not thinking about your kids and how they're going to be eating this garbage. What did I see on Facebook the other day? I mean, all these cereals had toxins in them. You know, cereals that were supposed to be good for you, like Cheerios and stuff. All these corporations, almost like, oh, we got too much poison coming out of that factory. Maybe we could just put 0.1% in that food we sell. You know, that cereal that the kids love? We could just sprinkle a little bit in each one. We could slowly get rid of it without anybody knowing. 30 years later, we get all these cancer cases and we don't know why. That's murder. That shouldn't be allowed. Nobody does nothing. I don't get it. You're so worried about prepping or whatever else you're doing. Look around. You're already being killed. And you're not even prepared for that. So I don't know. But one thing I do know, if you watch all these preppers over and over and over, these are subliminal messages that are being programmed into your brain, and you are being sent down a road that finally you get to the point where you're just crazy about it. And now it absorbs your life and everything about you. And who knows, maybe I'll be watching you living in a shed on some piece of property trying to figure out how to be a homesteader. Oh. I'm going to end the video here. I just rambled and didn't write anything down. I didn't cut this. I didn't cut pieces out. Nothing. I'll put it on YouTube. You guys can watch it. You can rip it apart. You can call me crazy. Whatever you want. But guess what? I'm the guy out doing photography. I'm the guy that's out there camping. And I'm the guy that's out there enjoying a nice steak dinner. And I'm not watching prepper after prepper worrying about the end of the world coming. I do watch a little bit of news. I do pay attention to what's going on in these other third world countries because I have a feeling something could happen in these countries and maybe get over here. But I don't live every moment of my life to it. I'm not even subbed to any preppers whatsoever. I would rather be learning something off of YouTube than showing me how to start a fire. I wonder how many videos there are on how to start a fire. Go look that up and tell me. But yet, thousands of millions of houses burn down every year through fires. They have no problem burning. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Anyhow, catch you guys on the next one. And you keep watching those guys. They'll keep programming you. Catch you later.